Hello YouTube and welcome. Today we are playing Innsmouth 22. This was gifted to me via Keymailer. I'm very gracious receiving this. It is based around, well not based, but it's influenced by H.P. Lovecraft. As you can tell, we've got our little kraken looking picture and her beautiful eyes. But let's get into it. You're in your office at the university working on your laptop when the phone rings. Hello? Inspector Rossi. Good morning, Professor Rahai. This is Inspector Rossi. How are you? Good, thanks. And you? Good. I wanted to ask about the report you're preparing for us, the one about the artifact seized in Tuscany. We need to wrap up the investigation this week and would appreciate having the documents as soon as possible. You almost finished your report, or you expect... You know what? Yeah, they're fakes. Totally fake. I still need to finish it, and I'm leaving for the USA. Do you need the finished report urgently? Actually, Professor, we do. We're about to close the investigation. There's one aspect I'd like to investigate further. It's just a hunch, but sometimes the little things hide something more significant. I suspect they might be fakes, albeit ancient ones, made centuries ago. In that case, you're right. Take the time you need. Can you send me the report before you leave, except for this pending issue? Good idea. I'll do as suggested. Goodbye. After hanging up, you remember you need to call Laura, your girlfriend, who tried to reach you a couple of hours ago. Hey babe, sorry I'm only calling now. Don't worry, I figured you were busy with tomorrow's trip. How about dinner tonight? Great idea. Shall I pick you up at 8? Perfect, I'll be waiting. Kisses! You briefly think back to the last email you received from the Professor Tom J. Angelique, President of the New England Archaeological Society. A young and promising archaeologist, known for his many papers on the myths and legends of ancient Greece and Rome. We would be proud to have you speak at our conference. I must admit, this invitation makes me a bit proud. You get up from your desk and go to the window. Well, I'm already 40, but I'm starting to make a name for myself, even abroad. Dad would be proud. Unfortunately, he passed away too soon. The phone rings. Hello? Good morning, Lorenzo. This is Tom Angeli. I'm calling to make sure everything is set for your departure tomorrow. I'm sure your presentation will be one of the most appreciated at the conference. Your reputation as a scholar has made its way here, and I believe that your approach to ancient history will blend perfectly with the informal, and also, how shall I say it, a bit unconventional spirit of the panels that will take place at the conference. Thank you very much, Tom. I'll do my best to meet the expectations. I'll try not to give an academic lecture. I've read the schedule for the event, and it seems like it won't be 3 boring days among scholars. You bet. We're all university professors and professionals at the end of our careers. We're not aiming to publish yet another scientific paper. We want to have great conversations about the themes that have fascinated us all our lives. Have a great day, have a safe trip, and I can't wait to meet you. Thank you sincerely, and have a great day too. The conference will focus on the importance of myths, legends, and idols of ancient civilizations, even very ancient ones preceding the Greeks and Romans. They've asked me to focus mainly on aspects not commonly covered by regular academic studies. I want to get creative to make my presentation spot on. I'll add a dash of originality. Anyway, I'll be one of the last speakers, so I'll have some time to tweak my talk and match the vibe of the conference. Tom also sent me the start of his talk, focused on ancient myths and rituals. I didn't quite get the era or the people he's talking about. Super intrigued though. This invite kinda surprises and intrigues me. Plus, they're covering all travel, food and lodging expenses. Never heard of the New England Archaeological Society before, but they sure knew about me. True, I've been writing on international blogs for a while. They must have found me there. Guess the hustle paid off. Both Tom and his assistant Ellie have reached out to me loads of times. Ellie is so thoughtful, sends me 2 emails a day just to nail down all the details. Now I just need to focus on prepping my presentation and making sure I've got everything I need for the trip. Can't wait to get going. By the way, it was Ellie who suggested I head out early for a couple of days of diving. Actually, I'll send her one last confirmation email, since she seemed almost anxious about my arrival. Dear Ellie, all confirmed. I've got a flight tomorrow from Rome at 1 p.m, landing at 3 p.m. local time. I'll pick up the rental car and head to Ipswich for 2 days of ocean diving. See you soon, and thanks for everything. I have to remember, there's also a time difference between Italy and America. So it wouldn't just take 2 hours to get there. It's 3 p.m. American local time. You're a great sea enthusiast and expert in diving. At 17, you were able to dive almost 100 meters deep without breathing. The sea has always been your obsession since childhood, but it was the only one among your passions that your father did not like. Your mother had died at sea when you were only 3 years old. It has been at least a year since you found the time to fully enjoy the sea, but you always keep yourself informed about the world of diving, reading articles and blogs. Moreover, since you decided to go to the conference and are looking for information about Boston area, you find articles about diving everywhere, the magic of the web. The phone rings and disturbs your peaceful thoughts. It's Ellie, Tom's assistant. I love her red hair. Kind of Black Widowish. Hi Lorenzo, I just read your email. We can't wait to meet you. I was calling to see if there's anything else I can do for you. Hello and thank you. Everything is okay and I'm ready to go. Is everything okay with the diving equipment? Did you have any problems booking it? Often diving centres don't have the type of snorkel I usually use. No problem. I personally spoke with the school. They have already reserved the best available equipment for you. You'll see, the ocean is different from your seas. It gives a feeling of absolute depth. Ask Ellie if she dives and ask where she's from. Let's see, do you dive? Ellie, do you also dive? I'm a marine biologist. For many years, I have been dealing with those seabeds. That stretch of ocean was my home. So you're an expert? What are the characteristics of that stretch of sea? It's unpredictable. There are strong currents and the weather changes quickly. When you're offshore, you always have to look to the sky to avoid being at sea during a storm. And the seabeds? You'll see, they are very special. Depending on the weather, the seabeds change light. Sometimes at 30 meters deep, it seemed to me that the sea around me was a living creature. I can't imagine what you're telling me. I can't wait to dive. You'll see, it will be an exciting experience. You're accompanied by a waiter to the reserved table. You don't even have time to sit down when Laura, your girlfriend, arrives immediately. Hi, honey. Have you packed your bags for the trip, and is your report ready? Yes, everything is in order. Ooh, he has very blue eyes, much like that girl on the start. I have a perfect plan. I'll arrive tomorrow evening on the coast in Ipswich, where I'll go diving on Friday and Saturday. Sunday morning, I'll leisurely head to Boston, in time for the conference starting on Monday. The report isn't finished, but I'll have plenty of time to refine it. What luck that this invitation is in June. Yes, it's really perfect. I can combine my passion for the sea with my participation in a conference that looks interesting. The conference seems a bit strange, and you expect Tom and Ellie know about your life. Ooh. Maybe I should have investigated further before accepting the invitation. Tom Angeli, the organiser, and Ellie, his assistant, insisted a lot to make me go. Crap. There's a back button. Maybe I should have investigated better before accepting the invitation. Tom Angeli, the organiser, and Ellie, his assistant, insisted a lot to make me go. Maybe too much. And sometimes I almost had the feeling they knew me. Could it be? Of course not, never heard of them. But for example, I had the feeling Ellie knew my mother was American. When I mentioned it to her, she didn't seem surprised. And Tom, I don't know why, but it's like I know him. When I talk to him, I have strange feelings. So is he an unsettling type? I don't know. That guy gives me a strange feeling. Anyway, I'm very excited about scuba diving in the United States. Well, have a good trip. I hope you can have an unforgettable adventure. I'll miss your blue eyes. Me too. You'll miss your own blue eyes. The next day, you catch a cab to Rome Fiumicino Airport, all set to fly to the United States. But forgive my pronunciations as well. I'm sorry. Why is my space not working? You've got a carry-on and a briefcase containing your laptop and presentation. You're hoping to jazz it up with some fresh ideas by Monday when the conference kicks off. You go over your schedule in your head. You'll be arriving in Ipswich on Thursday evening, and so on. Please place your phone and laptop in the tray. Here they are. Taking off your jacket, you place the metal items, your laptop and your phone, in the tray. Excuse me, sir. We need to do a routine check of your electronic devices. Go ahead. The staff member disappears for a few minutes, then comes back and hands over your laptop and phone with a smile. What are you doing touching my electronics, sir? Sorry for the hold-up, sir. No problem. Have a good day. You've always wondered if these checks are random, or if security gets suspicious of something or someone. But in your case, you can't quite figure out what might seem odd about you. It's weird that they took my laptop and phone and kept them for that long. Dun dun dun. You plan to keep working on your speech during the flight. I want to make a good impression. I've prepped material for at least 3 different presentations. I'm one of the last speakers, so I'll decide at last minute. The flight will be long, but it's chill. The plane isn't completely full, and the seat next to you is taken by a guy around 25, not Italian. You smile at him, and the guy starts chatting in English. You're reading a book about symbolism in ancient cultures. Weren't you meant to be continuing your reports, good sir? The flight attendants are super nice and friendly, and they keep checking to make sure everyone's good. After the meal, you crash into a deep sleep, yet you're really not good at doing the work you're meant to be doing, sir. Ooh, pretty and loud. You wake up to find only water above you, surrounding you in every direction. You must be over 100 meters deep, free diving, but you feel no strain. It's as if the oxygen you have could last forever. Looking up, you can see some sunlight penetrating down there. You're surrounded by big air bubbles and swarms of fish, which seem to follow a precise path. It feels like you're in a vortex, pulling you from the deep ocean to the surface, slowly spinning you around like a top. At one point, the water changes colour. That's actually really pretty. I love the artwork. It turns a bright light green, and you can see everything clearly until an arm grabs you and helps you resurface. Hesitate or decide to grab? You know what? I'm going to hesitate. I don't know who you are. You're grabbing my arm. What are you? But something or someone pulls you towards the seabed. You feel free of 4 hands pulling you deeper, and the air in your lungs is about to run out. You look down and see them. They're strange creatures, similar to Asian men with finned feet. Their feet are very wide, and the toes are connected by some sort of membrane. They're not aggressive, almost smiling at you while some air bubbles escape from their mouths. Yeah, but sea creatures usually do smile at you, and then suddenly you're screwed. You feel the oxygen in your lungs increase instead of decrease, as if contact with these underwater creatures gives you a greater breathing capacity. They're inviting you to stay with them at the bottom of the sea, where you've always felt wonderful. To live like a fish in ever brighter waters. You feel a sense of happiness. You want to stay at the bottom of the sea and realize that those men want to teach you to live underwater. You feel a sense of happiness. You want to stay at the bottom of the sea and realize that those men want to teach you to live underwater. Oh, we're awake. A hand touches you gently. You wake up and notice a very pretty flight attendant smiling at you. We're landing in Boston soon. You've slept through most of the flight. Can I get you a coffee? Thank you. I really need a coffee. You dream a lot. Sometimes you remember your dreams for a long time. Other times you forget them a few minutes after waking up. Sometimes you almost feel like you receive omens in your sleep. You sketch out You stretch out in your seat and lift the shade on your window. The sky's clear and the sun is shining. You check your watch. The landing is right on time. You drink your coffee and fill out the immigration forms. When the plane touches down on the runway, your legs still feel numb. You arrive in Boston Airport and head towards the immigration office. There isn't much of a queue, and it takes you 10 minutes. The police officer gives you a quick look at your passport and the form that you've filled out for the immigration procedures. Then he welcomes you and lets you pass. You only have carry-on luggage, luckily. After the arrival gate, you look for the car rental counters. They're right there, in plain sight. Good morning. I've booked a rental car until next Friday. Good morning. Certainly, sir. You've chosen a small car, with insurance coverage for both damage to you and third parties. Is that right? Would this one be suitable for you? The attendant shows you a picture of a small car. Perfect. Great. Here's the key. Do you know how the rental works? Fairly well. I have to return the car with a full tank without any damage. By the way, can you tell me where to find the parking lot? It's my first time at Boston Airport. It's very easy. When you exit onto the street, there's a big parking lot in front of you. On the ground floor, you'll see all the rent-a-car signs in our parking lot. You should look for spot 125, where you'll find the car. I wish you a pleasant stay. Have a nice trip. Thank you. You easily find the car. It has automatic transmission, but you get used to it quickly. You leave the airport parking lot and head slowly towards the highways. Your final destination is the town of Ipswich, where Ellie's Book Sub-Centre is located. It's located north of Boston, a couple of hours' drive away. The navigator on your phone directs you north. You take one of the many highways, and after a while you see signs for Ipswich. Finally, I can spend a couple of days at sea. It's been so long since I've gone diving. Testing. Okay, yeah, it still seems loud enough. I wonder what it's like to dive in the ocean. You drive along the coast and admire the scenery. It's very green, and there are woods everywhere. Every now and then, the road passes a stretch of coast and you catch a glimpse of the sea. You immerse yourself in thoughts as you drive on the wide American roads. You arrive in a town around 6 p.m. The sun is still high. Here, it gets darker later than in Rome. There is a bright but warm atmosphere. The summer sun is not as blinding as in Italy. Ellie has booked a room in a small hotel. There are no better ones around, and Elliot's Inn is located near the port. It's convenient for going to the diving school, and they give us a good price. We know the owners, she said. You arrive in Ipswich and drive for about 3 kilometres along wide roads surrounded by American-style white 2-storey houses, with gardens and cars parked in front of each house. Then, when you reach the roundabout, you turn right again and catch a glimpse of the sea in the distance. The direction is right. The sea is just about 2 kilometres away. You immediately notice a change in the landscape. Now you are in a slightly run-down neighbourhood with dilapidated houses all painted grey. They are almost attached to each other, having small windows through which the light barely shines. The streets are narrow and the intersections have no traffic lights. There are fewer people around and very little car traffic. It feels like you're in an abandoned neighbourhood. The navigator provides you with unclear directions and keeps recalculating the route several times. You can't figure out where you need to go. You look around and see a group of bikers coming. Stopped at the traffic light, you are approached by an old pickup truck with 3 guys. You wait for the biker group and try to ask them, keep looking for the road by yourself, or approach the surfers. In the back, they have some windsurfing boards. The surfers are shirtless, with long blonde hair, and look tired. One of the 3 is smoking a joint, judging by the acrid smell that fills the air. Hello, mate, is everything okay? That's a terrible London accent right there. Yes, of course, and you? Magnificently. Today was an ideal day to go out to the sea. Is it very windy there? It depends on the days, but generally there's always a lot of air at sea. Where are you from? I'm Italian. I'm here for a couple of days of diving. Great, we also go scuba diving occasionally. You'll like the sea around here. I really hope so. Enjoy then, and be careful of pitfalls in the seabed. When you won't be asking them about the hotel? Question mark? Thank you. When the traffic light turns green, the pickup truck overtakes you and quickly moves away. So you decide to ask a passerby. You find a man around 50, dressed modestly. Good evening. Excuse me for bothering you. Can you tell me where I am? This is Innsmouth. Ah, thank you. I was looking for my hotel, the Elliott's Inn. Do you know where it is? Of course, it's on Main Street. It should be not far from the port. Yes, Innsmouth is a port town. They are all near the port. Go straight, and at the second street on the right, turn. You'll see it a few meters away. It has a yellow sign outside. You'll get there in a couple of minutes. Thank you. You are very kind. Ask passerby if there's visitors or ask them about the hotel. I'd kind of like to know about my hotel. What can you tell me about this hotel? There are strange stories about that hotel. Like what? I've heard a couple of times that it's not quiet at night, that strange things happen, that there are many noises. What noises? I don't know, but I've heard this story a couple of times. After a few minutes, you see the sign. That gentleman was very helpful. You park the car outside, grab your bags, and head into the hotel. You find yourself in a place that looks like a guest house, with furniture that seems a bit dated and a thick carpet covering the lobby floor. A pretty young lady is at the reception. She's just over 20 and has gorgeous blue eyes. Let's see if I've still got this. They remind you of your mum's side of the family. Dad always said, you've got two things from your mum, her eyes and her love for the sea. When's she talking? Not yet. Good morning, I'm Lorenzo Rahe. There's a room booked for me for 3 nights. Good morning, sure. Welcome to our hotel, Lorenzo. We have been expecting you. I'm Emma. Ellie spoke highly of you. Did you have a good trip? Yes, thank you, Emma. The flight was right on time, and Ellie is always so kind. Here are the keys to your room 22, Innsmouth 22. We've already received a copy of your passport. Your room is on the 2nd floor. Unfortunately, there is no elevator. No biggie, I've got light luggage. Need help with your bags? No thanks, I can manage on my own. Alright, settle in at your own pace. You must be tired. If you need anything, just dial 0. I'm here until 8 and then I'll head home. We don't have a night porter, but if needed, you can call this number. Emma shows you a note pinned to the wall. How do I get back into the hotel after dinner? The front door will be open and your key will be here at the reception. Ask how easily to get to the harbour or ask about the ideal place for dinner. Food. Could you recommend a good place to spend the evening? There are several places around here, but be careful not to stray too far from the hotel at night. Sometimes there are sudden storms, and it's not pleasant if you're caught in the middle of them while far away. Ellie really insisted on keeping you safe. Emma laughs. You still didn't give me a place. Yes, Ellie really wants everything to go smoothly. A storm shouldn't be too big of a deal, though. Also, it's June. The weather shouldn't be too unpredictable. Not here in Innsmouth. It's in a bay, and the climate is very unusual. Then I'll be careful, as you say. You head up to the 2nd floor via a wooden staircase. The first room on the right is number 22. You open the door. Thank goodness the receptionist Emma is a friendly and super nice gal. However, this room isn't quite what I was hoping for. Looks like it's stuck 50 years in the past, at least. The room phone rings. It's Emma. Lorenzo, do you need anything? No thanks. I'm all good. Damaged parkway and a shabby vibe. But hey, for $60 a night, it was the only available option in town. At least it seems like it. The room is big, but the bathroom is tiny. The decor includes some shabby antique furniture. There's a strong, musty smell. The windows, heavy curtains that block out the sunlight. Walking around the room, the floor creaks under your feet. Beside the main door, there are 2 doors on the side walls, leading to other rooms. The rooms are interconnected. I wonder if there's any other guests. You hook up both your cell phone and laptop to the hotel's Wi-Fi and check if you've received any messages or emails. Hey, you said it might look old, but your room's big, you got a bathroom, and it has Wi-Fi. And there's nothing to snort at. Good thing the Wi-Fi works well. At least I can keep working on my presentation for the conference. Let me send a message to Laura first. So far so good. The flight was on time, and the drive to the coast went smoothly. The room isn't exactly what I expected, but it will do for 3 nights. At least I can focus on my presentation. I'm gonna miss you a lot these days, sending you a big kiss. You lie down on the bed. The mattress is soft, and there are 4 pillows, way too fluffy. You lie down to rest a bit, but you're not sleepy at all. You did just sleep all the way here. You get up from the bed and look out the window. It's a nice evening. The sky is clear, and it's not too hot. You decide to go out for a walk to explore the area a bit. You're tired, but not sleepy, and you're getting hungry too. Passing through the reception, you don't see Emma. You leave the room keys on the counter and go into the street. You walk for a few hundred meters until you see in the distance a yellow light that looks like a sign. So, kind of like the hotel. It's a diner, a cheap American restaurant. It's not great. The atmosphere is dark, with little light and a heavy air that envelopes the entire place. The walls are painted in an indecipherable colour between brown and eggplant, and the ceiling is low, creating an oppressive feeling. It's not that low, yeah. The tables are old and worn, the wooden swivel chairs that creak when someone sits down. The menu offers classic American dishes, hamburgers, french fries, chips. You approach the counter. The waiter greets you cordially and invites you to sit at a table. Good evening. What can we prepare for you tonight? Good evening. I would like a hamburger, please, and also some french fries. All right. I'll bring them to you right away. Would you like something to drink? Yes, a beer, please. I'll bring you the beer right away. Your table is located near a window. The waiter brings you an American beer. You read the label. It's produced in the Boston area. You taste it. It is a little bitter, almost spicy. After about 5 minutes, the food order arrives. Here you go, sir. Enjoy the meal. Thank you. As you eat, the waiter approaches you a couple of times to make sure you enjoy your dinner. Sir, did you arrive in Innsmouth today? How do you feel about our little town? I've only been here just over an hour. I don't know the city, but it seems a bit, how to say, abandoned? I understand there are a few people around, but I assure you, it's a livelier place than it seems. In what sense? Is there a social life? Not much, at least not in the usual sense of the term, but you can meet special people. Everyone wants to escape from here 2 days after arriving, and then end up staying for a long time, or even for life. What do you mean? What kind of people? Sailors, artists, followers of strange cults, eccentrics, kids who dropped out of school and live day by day. Ah, well, then it's a more interesting place than it sounds. I'm glad to hear that. At least I won't be bored. Get bored in Innsmouth? I don't think so. Just try to understand what's beneath the surface. I hope to understand more in the next 2 days. Ooh. Now I'm tired from the journey. I would like the bill, please. Of course. I'll bring it to you right away. Did everything go well? Excellent. Everything was good. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Come back whenever you want. You pay, leaving a good tip, and say goodbye as you go out of the restaurant. Suddenly you think back to the bikers and surfers you met recently. You decide to go back inside and ask the waiter some questions, but you notice a strange phenomena in the sky. Phenomena, or... you know what? Phenomena. What a bright sky. It seems like there are many more stars than usual, and that they move in swarms. The sky seems charged with an incredible force. Some flashes foreshadow a storm during the night. The clouds are moving at unusual speed. Strong wind is coming from the sea. You leave the diner and return to your hotel, ready for a restful night's sleep. You left home in Rome 15 hours ago. Now you're sleepy and dead tired. You walk through the narrow streets of the town. The houses are almost all the same. Some are larger, with a porch at the entrance. You notice strange inscriptions on several houses, and also monstrous creatures painted next to the inscriptions. The sky is clear, starry. Swarms of stars move quickly in front of your eyes. You observe the strange paintings on the houses. You observe the incomprehensible symbols painted on the houses. Paintings or symbols? Oh, okay. Next to these strange paintings, there are many symbols. They seem like phrases. I've never seen such characters. It is not an ancient language among those studied by archaeologists. They use no more than a dozen characters, too few for it to be some kind of alphabet. So there are two hypotheses. Either they are ideograms, and each symbol represents something, or multiple characters stand for a letter, or a number. It's as if I came here for diving and find myself involved in one of my archaeological researches. You go into your room and get ready for bed. You turn off your phone and your PC. It's better to turn off. They could call me from Italy in the middle of the night, with the 6-hour time difference. You slip under the covers, and in a few minutes you fall asleep. First night here. You are woken up by flashes of light in the room. Your phone and laptop illuminate with messages and notifications received. You're too tired to check what it is, but out of the corner of your eye you notice some kind of inscription on the computer. It was a flight, people. They go onto my systems. You quickly sit down on the bed. With some awe, you approach the PC and look more closely. The light from your monitor casts eerie shadows on the walls of the room, creating an almost psychedelic atmosphere. What the hell is this inscription? Does it look like something ancient? And how did it appear on the screen if I had turned off the PC and phone? You are perplexed by the inscription and try to understand what it is, but you are too tired to focus. You decide to let it go and turn off the computer again, hoping to go back to sleep. You collapse from being so tired. After a while, footsteps and creaking noises wake you up. Confused, you look at the clock. It's 1:45 in the night. What's happening? Why are there footsteps so late? You try to turn on the light, but there is no electricity. Has the power been cut? You shiver with fear. The footsteps stop near the door of your room. You sit on the bed with your heart pounding. I need to know what the hell is happening. You get out of bed and approach the door. You stop for a moment to take a deep breath, then open the door slowly, but there's no one outside. Maybe it was just my imagination. I need to relax and go back to sleep. You go towards the bed and lie down, trying to ignore the noises and focus on your breathing. After a few minutes, you finally manage to relax and go back to sleep. Then you hear a total racket. Everything vibrates very strongly, the 3 doors and windows. It seems like an earthquake or someone shaking the doors with all their might. Then you hear footsteps behind the side doors of your room. You go to the front door and the other 2 doors, barefoot and with your heart in your ears. You are certain that someone is behind the 2 doors to the other rooms. Fear creeps inside you, but you force yourself to remain calm. Who's behind the door? Who are you? Nothing, no answer. The silence returns, absolute, almost unnatural. You approach the desk where you had left the laptop and phone turned off. You are certain you turned them off again, but the screens are still illuminated. You move closer and see the same image on both devices, an old man staring at you with big, teary, almost white blue eyes. The old man is motionless. He could even be dead. He looks very sad. How did this image get on my phone and PC? They were off. At that moment, the old man on the screen seems to move, and you get scared. Oh my god, he's alive? But who are you, and what do you want from me? The old man remains silent, and you realise it must have just been just an image. You calm down a bit, but you are still shaken. The window glass starts to vibrate, first softly, then stronger. It's as if a heavy vehicle is passing by your house. The vibration becomes stronger, and you want to go and see, but you are paralysed by panic and remain motionless. What's happening? Why is a window vibrating like this? Out of the corner of your eye, you notice something happening on your computer. The old man is gone, but it seems like someone is using your keyboard remotely. You approach the computer and notice that many images are scrolling on the screen. What the hell is happening? At that point, you see images of a crowd of people. They are strange, the way they move and dress, and then the sea, the water, the depths. It's like people are fleeing from the earth, sinking. What's happening? Who is controlling my computer? You feel overwhelmed by panic. You try to stay calm, but terror overwhelms you. What's happening? Who is controlling my computer? You think there's someone in the room, or pay attention to the people see? I think you would have noticed if someone was in your room. We're going to pay attention. Those people entering the sea. They have strange feet. The toes were not divided, but united as if they were fins. I'm sure I've seen an image of people in the water with fin-like feet, but I can't remember where I've seen this before. Dreams, maybe? On the PC, it looked like a video, so they must be real images. But people like that, with fin-like feet, don't exist. Then everything ends. The images disappear from the screen, and the vibration of the window stops. Your computer and phone are now turned off. What do I do now? I have to stay awake at all costs. Half an hour passes, then an hour. You are very tired, but manage to stay awake. It's a huge effort not to fall asleep. At 6 in the morning, it's dawning. Maybe the danger has passed. You fall asleep, exhausted. You are jolted awake when there is a knock at the door. It's a polite call, almost as if the person doesn't want to disturb you. Who is it? It's Emma from the reception. Sorry to bother you, but you need to hurry to the harbour for the diving. It's already 9. If you don't hurry, the dive centre's boat will leave without you. You hurry up, get dressed, and get ready for the day of diving. You're wearing a t-shirt and shorts, sneakers, and sunglasses. In your backpack, put sunscreen, a hat, and beach towels. Equipment will be provided to you by the diving school. Off we go. When you go down to reception, Emma smiles at you. What happened last night? All that noise. Noise? We had a quiet night, as always. What are you referring to? Could it have just been a nightmare? Now you have only one goal, to go out on the boat and dive into the ocean. That is, go down to at least 50 meters deep and experience again the feeling of immensity that you feel at the bottom of the sea. It doesn't matter. I have to go. I have to hurry, otherwise I'll miss the boat. How long does it take to get to the port? 10-minute walk. It's easy. Walk out of the hotel and take any road to the right. They all lead to the sea. Once there, you will see the entire Innsmouth Cove. The port is more or less in the center. Go to Pier 1, where the diving school is located. You think Emma is lying, or you insist on asking questions? Why would you think Emma is lying? Emma, last night there was a terrifying noise. It lasted several minutes. About last night. Doors and windows banging, booms outside the room, and strange noises inside. Lorenzo, I'm sorry, but I don't know anything about it. The night was quiet as always. Well, you said you leave at 8. I'm sorry you had a terrible night. You must have been very scared. Were there any other people in the hotel? Maybe you can ask them. These days, we only have 2 other guests who are regulars because they often come to Innsmouth for work. I saw them at breakfast this morning and they didn't say anything to me. Lorenzo, I'm sorry, but I think you had a nightmare. Stop gaslighting me. The reception phone rings. I don't have much time. I need to get some breakfast, and then I have to hurry. Lorenzo heads to the dining room, but realizes he forgot his sunglasses on the reception desk. He goes back to get them, but they are gone. Emma is not there either. Emma? Lorenzo calls her several times, but there is no answer. The whole hotel seems deserted. I have to hurry up. I'll take care of the glasses tonight. Emma must have put them aside. You leave the hotel and head to the harbour on foot. The streets are empty. Weird place. There's no one around. The hotel is on Main Street, and you start walking through those ugly grey houses you saw last night. You hit Water Street and decide to take it, since it leads to the sea, just like Emma told you. You keep walking for about a mile, trying to spot if there's anyone around. Where is everybody? Is this a ghost town? You can't figure out where all the residents are. The whole town seems deserted. The street is silent and desolate. What's going on? Where did everyone go? You walk slowly, trying to spot any signs of life, but there are no sounds. All you hear is the sound of your footsteps as you get closer to the sea. Someone is living in those houses. Many windows are open, and some of the buildings have cars parked in the driveways, but there is not a soul in sight. What's happening here? It's like everyone just up and left the town. You see Fish Street and decide to take it, since you saw on the map that it leads straight to the harbour. You had a map. You start heading down the sloping road, and after 5 minutes you catch a glimpse of the blue sea. Finally, the sea. At least I'm going in the right direction. You emerge into a sort of seafront, a fairly wide area, with several trucks parked in the semi-empty slots. You see rust everywhere, and the buildings in sight are damaged by the salt air. The feeling of abandonment is amplified by a strong smell of fish. There is a terrible stench everywhere. A couple 100 meters away there are a few small cargo ships and fishing boats moored at the docks. You decide to head in that direction. What a dump. I hope the diving school lives up to the expectations. It looks really good on the website, with all the latest gear. You head towards the harbour, hoping to find the school, and maybe someone who can answer a few questions about this weird place. You feel uneasy. Let's hope this 2-day diving thing doesn't turn out to be a terrible idea. You arrive at the port and see the sign of the scuba centre, Plum Island Scuba. You've finally reached the place you were looking for. There they are. I finally found them. You enter the office of the scuba centre and are greeted by the smile of a beautiful brunette with long hair and stunning blue eyes. Hi, are you Lorenzo? Are you the Italian who booked the dives? Yes, that's me. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. My name is Emma. We are waiting for you. You're a bit late. Yes, I'm sorry. It took me a while to find you. Emma, you too. You're the second beautiful girl named Emma that I've met in this place. Yes, I know. She's my cousin. She works at the hotel where you're staying. In our family, Emma is an important name. You know, in honor of a boat, a 2-masted sailboat that changed the fortunes of the family forever. Interesting story. You can tell me more later. Did you sleep well? Not much. I still have to adjust to the time difference, and I didn't sleep a wink last night. But don't worry, a nice bath will wake me up. They put me to sleep. By the way, could you prepare the equipment I requested in my mails? You carefully check the equipment, the wetsuit, fins, scuba tank. Trixie, can we not step on my keyboard, please? Thank you. Got a kitty cat. You carefully check the equipment, the wetsuit, fins, scuba tank, and snorkel all seem to suit you. The mask is strange, of a type you have never seen before, but you think will be fine. Yes, Emma, everything seems to be in order. The size of the fins and wetsuit appears to be right. Great. You have sunglasses, right? There's a very strong light at sea, and without sunglasses, you could damage your eyes. I had them, but I lost them. Take these. They're sunglasses with clear yellow lenses. They'll help protect your eyes from the sun. You turn the glasses in your hands. They look like 3D goggles. You have never seen sunglasses like these before. You look around, observing the harbour. You see no pleasure boats, the only fishing boats and small, ramshackle cargo ships. The area seems desolate. Despite the beautiful sunny day, the calm sea has a very light colour, almost wintry. The water reflects an incredible amount of light and is dazzling, almost unnatural. This sea is really strange. I've never seen water of such a clear, intense and dazzling colour. Meanwhile, as Emma prepares the boat for the excursion, you wander away from the school, strolling around the harbour. The stench of fish invades your nostrils again as soon as you approach the docks with the other boats or try to enter one of the small streets that lead inland to Innsmouth. Despite the stench, you enjoy watching the harbour and admiring the sea towards the horizon. Looking at the sea, even this dull place, it becomes fascinating. Oh, excuse me. In the distance, you see some small islands, perhaps 2 kilometres off the coast, and a closer cliff, 800 metres from the shore. It doesn't seem artificial. It's rugged, as if it were made of natural rocks, with colours ranging from sand to very dark brown, almost black. After a few minutes, you return to the sub-school. Those distant islets look interesting. I'd love to explore them while diving.
Yes, it's a nice place, full of shrimp and other crustaceans. Many divers go there to see the fish, which are searching for food. Today, we don't have time to stop. We'll go to the open sea, to the Orange Shoal.
I'm ready. Shall we leave immediately?
Yes, of course. The others have also arrived. Today, there are 5 of you diving.
Great, I can't wait.
Perfect.
Emma chats with 4 people, then she turns to you and calls out to you.
Lorenzo, can you come here? Let me introduce you to our companions.
You approach and are introduced to Chris and Tom, 2 guys in their mid-20s, and a couple in their 50s, Sarah and John. Hi Lorenzo, good to meet you. Are you ready for the dive? Hi Chris, I'm ready. I'm very happy to join you. There will be lots of things to see underwater. We're all excited. Emma told us you're a champion freediver.
Yes, that's true. Lorenzo dives down to 100-meter depth without scuba tanks. We can't wait to explore the shoal seabed together.
I'm glad there are several of us. We'll definitely have fun together.
Before we leave, would you like some coffee? There are also muffins offered by the house.
Emma looks at you with a smile on her lips.
You, Lorenzo, might need it.
Thank you, Emma. I would gladly have a coffee and a muffin, if it's not a problem. Sure, let's go get them together. With a group of divers and Emma, you have coffee before setting off for the dive.
Come on, guys, let's hurry up. Get on the boat and stow your belongings in the 2 compartments, bow and stern. We need to leave as soon as possible. It's a beautiful day, but the weather forecast warns that the weather may worsen in the afternoon. Let's go to the Orange Shoal, which is about 6 miles from here.
You and the group hurry to board the boat, an aluminium motorboat about 10 metres long, with 2 outboard engines of 200 horsepower each. It has a covered space for the pilot and 2 holes, one at the stern and one at the bow. Not a modern boat, maybe 20 years old, but diving schools often use boats like this.
Check your equipment again. If you forget something, I won't be able to help you. I only have 1 boat. What Lorenzo and I need. Do you have sunglasses? Here, sun rays reflect on the sea surface and create strange effects, even hallucinations. It can also damage your eyes, Lorenzo. I recommend you always wear the sunglasses I gave you.
You nod and put on the glasses. Everyone settles into the boat. Emma quickly removes the moorings and starts the first engine to leave the port. You move away from the dock slowly, with only 1 engine at idle. Emma pilots very cautiously. You pass by the islets.
Those are the plums from which we took the name for our school.
Passing by the islets, Emma accelerates using the 2nd engine as well. The speed must be about 20 knots. The sea is very calm and sparkling. You and Emma wear the strange yellow glasses, unbranded, and with a thicker frame than usual. You're at the bow and look at the bright horizon and the almost transparent water. At some point, you seem to see a long, dark mass on the horizon, maybe even a cliff. After a while, the colour of the cliff turns green, changing from dark to light emerald, full of light, and the cliff starts moving. Waves seem to roll around the reef. Then, what looks like waves come to life. They are very long, bright green tentacles, sometimes not visible, sometimes very clear. At times, they are very well distinguished. You can't speak. With your arm, you signal to Emma, pointing to the tentacles, but Emma remains calm and smiling. The other passengers, looking in the same direction, seem not to notice anything. You look again, but now the view seems blurred, and you see very well up close, but on the horizon you can no longer distinguish anything except a glare.
Let's go to the Anshar. It's about 20 meters deep. We should be able to reach the bottom.
Emma, did you see those tentacles? They were green and luminous and seemed alive.
Oh yes, I saw them. Don't worry. They're just peculiarity of these waters. Many people here have hallucinations. That's also why you have to wear the sunglasses.
But we're wearing them when we're seeing them.
But now we have to focus on the dive. A wonderful sea awaits us down at the Anshar.
You can't get the vision out of your head, but you focus on preparing your diving equipment and the next dive.
Lorenzo, wear the mask, otherwise you can't see anything.
You wear the mask to try on. It's perfectly waterproof, then you take it off.
Okay, here we go. Now we go down and follow the bottom until we reach the shoal. Lorenzo, please go down first. See if we are above the rocks, or if the bottom is sandy.
Take off the yellow glasses or keep the glasses. I'm keeping them on for now.
Lorenzo, maybe the glasses I gave you are too strong. They have special lenses. Try taking them off for a couple of minutes, but don't look towards the sunlight.
Okay, I'll try. After taking off the glasses, you look again at the horizon in search of the tentacles, but green light prevents you from seeing clearly. For a moment, but only for a moment, you have the impression that the horizon is turning into a huge green creature, confused in the sunlight. You decide to say nothing. Ooh, beautiful. You nod, then dive into the water. You feel the cold water on your skin, but after a few seconds you feel comfortable. You are very focused on the dive you are about to take. As you descend, you notice the water becomes darker and deeper and the bottom keeps moving away, but the fins give you the right push and help you move forwards without much effort. After a few minutes of descent, you find... why is stuff moving on its own? You nod, then dive into the water. You feel the cold water on your skin, but after a few seconds you feel comfortable. You are very focused on the dive you are about to take. As you descend, you notice that the water becomes darker and deeper, and the bottom keeps moving away, but the fins give you the right push and help you move forward without much effort. After a few minutes of descent, you finally see the Orns Reef. It's a huge rocky formation rising from the seabed, surrounded by swarms of colourful fish swimming around it. You are breathless in front of that beauty. You feel like you're in another world, far from everything, immersed in a peace and beauty you've never experienced before. And in that moment, you know you will never forget that experience. You want to reach the bottom of the reef, as you used to do as a child, and stay there admiring the beauty of nature. Then it's time for you to resurface. You have learned to start with a short dive first. There's rock below.
Perfect. It's a nice spot, full of fish. We can stop here.
Emma turns off the engines and prepares to drop anchor. We are at 6 or 7 miles from the coast.
Get ready, guys. We'll all jump together. And please, no unnecessary risks.
You start dressing, taking turns using holds below deck. After 5 minutes, the whole group is wearing wetsuits, tanks, has a mask on their foreheads, and fins in their hands. Sarah and John are adjusting their fins. Emma already has a mouthpiece in her mouth and is making some final adjustments to her wetsuit.
Is everybody ready? Let's go then.
Emma dives first, followed by the others. The water is cold, but you feel excited and focused. You look down and see the sandy seabed not far away. You start swimming in that direction. After a few minutes of swimming, you reach the other rocks. They are very large, full of crevices and caves. You illuminate shoals of fish swimming around you. You turn around and see that Emma is following you. She is about 20 meters from you. At one point, you see a large shadow moving behind a rock. Emma, look over there. You signal, pointing at the shadow. Emma turns and looks in the same direction. She signals that there is no problem. You continue to watch attentively, but you just don't see anything strange anymore. You all make several dives in groups of 2. You're with Emma, and you reach the bottom of the reef in a spot far from the others. You're on the border of the reef because you can see a much deeper seabed nearby. Emma indicates to you to go further and return to the surface.
This is the border of the reef. If you go beyond, the seabed is about 80 meters deep. Do you think you can descend that far?
I should. I'm not very trained, but it used to be normal for me to go to those depths.
Alright, let's give it a try.
You swim for a few minutes looking down, then Emma signals to you to look below towards the seabed. There is a very bright and shimmering green light at the bottom of the sea. It's a small light, but very intense. What is it?
It should be the wreckage of an old boat. The reflections are possibly due to something metallic. The water around here often has a strange light.
Shall we go down to take a look?
Of course. You'll see a beautiful seabed.
You tried to descend about 30 meters, but then you signal to Emma indicating your tank. Your air is running out. You ascend towards the surface and Emma follows you. My tank is running out.
Don't worry, I'll help you with mine. Let's try to reach the green light.
She seemed very determined. Okay, but let me do some breath holding first. I'll dive down and use the remaining air to come back up.
The seabed is about 80 meters deep.
Ooh. You don't hear the answer because you're already immersed. You feel a huge desire to reach the green light of the seabed, or whatever it is. You descend meter by meter until you finally see up close. In those moments, you feel like a kid again when you're a freediving champion. You have a diving torch on your mask, and when you turn your head to look at the seabed, you can see quite well. On the seabed, there are stones arranged in a geometric shape, as if forming a pyramid. It's clearly a man-made artifact. You manage to touch the source of light. It's an object covered in algae, about 30-40 centimeters in size. You try to pull it towards you, but you can't extract it from a group of rocks where it's wedged. You wonder how it's possible that an object covered in algae at depth of 80 meters emits light. You know you have only a few seconds left before you have to ascend. As you tug at the object, you glance around and the torch on your mask illuminates everything. The water is incredibly bright, a very bright emerald green. You think it's the algae, but then you realize something strange is happening. The entire mass of water around the object, first for a few meters, then for tens of meters, then beyond, much beyond, is lighting up with a light green colour. You hear it at first. You don't understand what it is. Then you focus your attention and you're certain. It's a breath, slow and very deep. At depth of 80 meters, surrounded by brilliant light green water, you hear it again, a breath, slow and very deep. It is as if a huge creature is coming back to life. Panicked, you give one last tug to the object, pulling it towards you with all your strength. You oh, this looks like a Cthulhu statue. You finally manage to tear it from the rocks holding it. You're just in time to ascend. You remain to listen to the breath at the bottom of the sea. You search among the rocks to see if there's more. I'd rather leave, in all honesty. Yeah, sure. Among the rocks, there's something else. It looks like a rope with something metallic. You pull hard towards you and find yourself holding 2 pendants with cords covered in algae. You hold both objects and the pendants and return to the surface. There are 2 metal medallions with leather cords. They are very worn by the salt water. but you can distinguish on each a strange fish on one side and strange characters on the other. The two medallions look the same, or very familiar. Similar. You've been diving for a long time, at least 4 minutes. You return to the surface, compensating several times, and after a few dozen meters, you realise that Emma is waiting for you. She has stayed 30 or 40 meters deep, waiting for you. You ascend together until you reach the surface. So we're stealing random objects from the bottom of the water. This sounds great. You reach the surface at the same time. You're exhausted and hold up the recovered figurine. Emma immediately notices the statuette and changes her expression.
Give it to me. It's ours. That statuette belongs to my family.
You are very tired and take a deep breath to recover from the effort. Saying nothing, you hand her the object, throwing Emma a confused look. Her eyes have become very clear, almost white. In these moments, she doesn't resemble the beautiful smiling girl from before. For a moment, she remains still, as if in a trance. Then she starts swimming, first slowly, then faster, reaching the boat. She seems to have a mission to accomplish. She climbs on board and disappears into the hull for a few minutes. You followed her, but you didn't get on the boat. Confused, you think back to when you held that strange object in your hand during the ascent to the surface. You didn't have much time to look at it closely, but it seems to be a statuette depicting a man. Once resurfaced, you had time to look at it more carefully before Emma takes it. It's a statuette, half man and half animal, with tentacles instead of hair. It looks like stone, green but iridescent. It has strange reflections. Then your thought goes to the incredible green light and to the breath. You are sure it was a breath.
Guys, it's time to return to the port. In the afternoon, strange currents often form, and I don't want to find myself in difficulty. Let's go.
One by one, you and the other 4 passengers get on the boat, take off your gear and stay in your wetsuit. You will change in the port. The sea is getting choppy, but there is a lot of air. It's not strong wind, but it's colder than in the morning. Emma seems worried and drives the boat at full speed. Point out to Emma the arrival of a storm, entrust yourself to Emma's hands. She should know what she's doing, she lives here. You think Emma can handle the situation. But as the minutes passed, she did not seem to notice the sudden change in the weather. Oh God. Emma! The waves are getting more and more violent.
Don't worry, Lorenzo. Usually the waves are low around here.
Look, a higher wave is coming. It will hit the boat soon. The force of the wave is extremely violent. The passengers of the boat are thrown to the bottom. After the wave has passed, it takes a few minutes for the situation to calm. No one is injured. Emma resumes navigation towards the coast. You look outside the boat for a while longer, then decide to enjoy the view. You feel confused and you can't find the words to express what you feel. Actually, you don't feel like talking. After a while, Emma turns to you.
Lorenzo, are you worried about something?
No, it's just that it's been a strange experience we had today.
I know. But you know, sometimes it's better not to try to understand everything. Things always find a way to reveal themselves.
Nodding slowly, getting the distinct feeling that Emma knows much more than she's saying. You're right. Anyway, thanks for the day at sea. It's been a long time since I felt the sensation of getting lost in the depths. Emma smiles at you, then returns her focus to navigation. You look outside the boat for a while longer, then decide to enjoy the view. You're still confused, but you feel that you shouldn't panic. Answers will come, sooner or later. Since you arrived in that weird little town, strange things have happened. The first night, with the noises of the computer, that, while turned off, started coming to life. You remembered the old man on the screen. Then, you saw the cliff on the horizon, animated with tentacles, the statuette, the lightened water at 60 meters, and that breath. And then Emma, who transformed from a young, smiling girl into an emotionless being. You think of Laura and a mix of nostalgia and guilt for hardly ever thinking about her since you left. Thank goodness I'm going back home Friday. And with that, guys, I'm actually going to save there. We have a lot of questions and answers that need dealing with. We have, as he explained, the town itself, the statuette, the tentacles, the heavy breathing, and of course, what was happening in his hotel room. If you would like to see me continue this game, let me know. Like, subscribe, comment, etc. I will get back to this game if interest is shown, but I have really enjoyed the story so far. It's this intense. There's a mystery here and I want it solved. But yes, if you would like to see it continue, let me know. And until next time, bye bye.